In the heart of downtown, where towering skyscrapers pierced the urban sky, a technological revolution had taken place. Once static billboards now pulsated with life, transformed into mesmerizing 3D spectacles that held passers-by captive. These weren't mere advertisements. They were immersive experiences, blurring the lines between reality and the digital realm. One billboard showcased a ferocious T-Rex, its roar echoing through the concrete canyons as it lunged from the screen, jaws agape. People screamed and scattered, their hearts pounding as the prehistoric beast's hot breath seemed to wash over them. Another displayed a colossal tidal wave, its crest towering above the buildings, threatening to engulf the entire city. The sheer terror on people's faces as they ran for higher ground was palpable. A third billboard featured a swarm of gigantic spiders, their hairy legs scuttling across the screen and seemingly onto the sidewalk. The collective shriek that erupted from the crowd was deafening as people desperately tried to avoid the arachnid invasion. Some even jumped onto parked cars, their fear momentarily outweighing their sense of propriety. These 3D billboards had become the talk of the town, their terrifying realism captivating and repulsing in equal measure. Some marveled at the technological prowess on display, while others condemned the blatant exploitation of fear for commercial gain. But one thing was certain, no one could ignore their impact. City officials were inundated with complaints, demanding the removal of these monstrosities. But the advertising companies behind them argued that they were merely pushing the boundaries of creativity, providing a unique and unforgettable experience for consumers. As the debate raged on, the 3D billboards continued to draw crowds, their terrifying allure proving irresistible. People flocked to witness the spectacle, their morbid curiosity outweighing their fear. The streets of downtown had become a surreal landscape, a bizarre mix of awe and terror. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the city, a young woman named Sarah found herself mesmerized by one of the billboards. It depicted a scene from a horror movie, a grotesque creature emerging from the depths of a dark forest. Sarah's heart hammered in her chest as the creature's menacing eyes locked with hers. She knew it wasn't real, but the 3D effect was so convincing that she couldn't help but feel a primal fear coursing through her veins. Suddenly, the creature let out a blood-curdling scream, its claws reaching out from the screen as if to snatch her. Sarah gasped and stumbled backward, her legs trembling. She turned to run, but the crowd behind her was too dense. Panic surged through her as she felt trapped, the creature's horrifying visage looming over her. Just as she thought she was about to faint, a hand reached out and pulled her into a nearby alleyway. "Are you okay?" a deep voice asked. Sarah looked up to see a man with kind eyes and a reassuring smile. I think so," she stammered, her breath still coming in ragged gasps. "Those billboards are something else, aren't they?" the man said, his voice laced with a hint of amusement. Sarah nodded, her heart still racing. "Come on," the man said, gently taking her hand. "Let's get you out of here." He led her through the maze of alleyways, away from the terrifying billboards and the throngs of people. As they walked, Sarah couldn't help but feel grateful for his presence. In a city consumed by fear, he had offered her a moment of solace. As they reached a quieter street, the man turned to Sarah and smiled. "My name is Alex," he said. "And you are?" "Sarah," she replied, her voice still slightly shaky. "Well, Sarah," Alex said, "it's been a pleasure meeting you. I hope you're able to enjoy the rest of your evening, despite those unsettling billboards." Sarah smiled back at him. "Thank you, Alex," she said. "I will." They parted ways, and Sarah continued her walk home, her mind still buzzing with the events of the evening. The 3D billboards had certainly left their mark on her, but so had Alex's kindness. As she reached her apartment building, she glanced back at the downtown skyline, its silhouette punctuated by the glowing screens of the billboards. She couldn't deny their power, their ability to evoke such intense emotions. But she also knew that there was more to life than fear and spectacle. And as she closed the door to her apartment, she couldn't help but feel a sense of hope. In a world that seemed increasingly dominated by technology, there was still room for human connection and compassion.